Hello, good evening. It's Friday. This is Over and Over and Over Again. My name is Richard, and this is the Arsenal Women's Weekly. It's not just any Arsenal Women's Weekly. It is the Champions League semi-final special. We are going to look back on last weekend's brilliant performance over in Germany against Wolfsburg, and we're going to look ahead, of course, to Monday's decisive second leg. Arsenal or Wolfsburg will be in the final, playing Barcelona in Eindhoven at the end of May, or is it beginning of June? Whenever it is. Hopefully it's going to be Arsenal in there. So we're going to look ahead to the exciting week that we've got, a weekend that we've got coming up. It's all going to be coming the other side of this. So Arsenal now free to Marnham again inside there looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Free to Marnham again. And of course, joining us as always is, as Terry calls him, international man of mystery, is of course Andreas, and he's going to be jet setting again, of course, at this weekend as we all are heading towards the Emirates on Monday. How are you this week, Andreas? Looking forward to what's going to be a fantastic weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm fine, and I nearly can't believe your words when you speak about one step before reaching a Champions League final, and it's between Wolfsburg and us who reaches the final against Barcelona. It sounds so unreal, but especially when you see what tough situation we are going through this season with three ACLs, with so many long-term injuries, and nevertheless we are in the semi-final, and it's still everything is possible. Yeah, it's just fantastic. I haven't thought that we could get a result in Wolfsburg last Sunday, but we did. We managed it, and so everything is possible. Fantastic.
It is, yeah. I mean, you know, we will actually look. Why don't we start actually going back to last Sunday and what was a rather tense afternoon, but in the end, actually a rather enjoyable afternoon as well. I mean, when we were looking ahead to the game last week, we were talking about wanting there to be something to play for on Monday because we didn't want the tie to be over. And after 20 minutes, I think we were all a little bit worried that maybe the tie was going to be over because we were 2-0 down. We looked all over the shop, especially at the back, made silly mistakes, gifting goals to a very good team. And I must admit, I wasn't feeling too confident about our chances at that point. But what you've got to say is, once again this season, when we've had our backs against the wall, somehow this team have shown character, they've shown incredible belief, they've shown quality, they never give up. And we've seen it time after time. And even though we've seen it a lot this season, certainly in recent months with the injuries that we've had and everything else, it still seems to almost surprise us that we pull it out of the bag again. And we did on Sunday. And I know obviously, Andreas, you was in the chat when I was doing the game, and you know, at half time, well, before half time, you didn't think we had a chance of getting back in it. And I wanted to believe that we could, because I know this team's got quality, but it was looking, certainly for 25 minutes, half an hour on Sunday, I was thinking, let's just please keep the score down. Just take the 2-0 defeat and let's just give us at least some hope. But in the end, I mean, what a magnificent performance that turned out to be, didn't it? From probably 35 minutes onwards or about that point, I thought we were brilliant. Everything that we did in that game after that first sort of half an hour, the way we defended was good. The way we broke the play up, the way we closed them down. And then going forward, we created some good chances, got the goals, and maybe could have even won the game in the end. I thought we had one or two moments where we could have maybe done a little bit better. I know it would have been asking too much from 2-0 down, but we had opportunities, didn't we? I mean, they could have won it at the end as well. But, I mean, what did you make of it all, Andreas? Because that was quite a remarkable performance from Arsenal, wasn't it, once again?
Absolutely. I read one sentence that says, this team doesn't know when it has lost. They seem not to understand that the match is over, that they have lost. They always come back, they fight back. After 20-25 minutes, I thought, okay, we will get battered from Wolfsburg like Bayern Munich was 2 weeks ago when they lost 5-0. So this was what I expected, because our defense looked very weak, very sloppy, and we made a mistake for the first goal. You can't let a player like Eva Payot get the ball so alone. There were two meters right and left from her was no Arsenal defender, and Payot takes this chance. We know this. And the second goal, it was nearly a known goal, or an assist point for Rafa. I think no Wolfsburg player could have given a better assist than this one. Mentally, it must have been unbelievable hard for the girls. 2-0 down away with all these bad circumstances, and then starting the match with two gifts for the opponent, knowing what a strong team Wolfsburg is and how dangerous they can be. I wouldn't have expected that we would come back. And as you said, after 30 or 35 minutes, we came back into the match and we started to control the midfield and the match. We got a first corner, a first chance, and then this fantastic goal from Rafa after the second corner. But to be honest, at halftime, if someone would have said, okay, let's finish the match with 45 minutes, and are you satisfied with the 2-1 defeat? I would have said, okay, let's sign the papers and we take the 2-1 defeat. But the team came even better out in second half, and I think we deserved the draw. And of course, there was one big chance from Jill Roth, where her shot was a few centimeters near the post. This could have been the third for Wolfsburg, but we had our chances, and over the whole second half, I think you can say we controlled them mostly, and we managed to keep players like Brandt, Jonsdottir, Payot. We kept them calm in the second half. They had not so much possession or chances. So in the end, it was a deserved draw. But the reaction from Wolfsburg was like in this one interview from Jonsdottir, we should have defended better, but it doesn't matter that we conceded 2 goals. We are going to London to win. Okay, if they are so self-confident, let's prove them wrong. And I think if they are overconfident, then this is another good chance for us. So even before the match, the mood in Germany was Wolfsburg will win and will go through to the final, and nobody really saw from which difficulties we came. And as I wrote in the chat on Sunday, when the German commentator said we will see 2 teams with a similar injury crisis. They are both missing their captain. I couldn't believe what I heard. A similar injury crisis. Well, of course, they are missing Alex Popp, but this is one player, and look at their bench. So so this one more reason to prove how good we are as a team, and that we can go through. It would be fantastic message. And what Leah said in an interview, we are fighting for the girls at home. This says all. I'm not convinced that we will beat them or that we will go through, but I'm convinced that we will see a fantastic performance, and every player who has the Arsenal badge on Monday will give their everything. And this is all we can expect.
Exactly, yeah. And I think as fans, that's all you want to see. You know, winning and losing games isn't the be all and end all of everything. Yes, you want to win trophies and you want to be successful. Of course you do. That's like the icing on the cake, though, isn't it? What you want to see is you want to see your team, your players go out there and give everything for the shirt, as if you were playing yourself in that team, you would carry on playing until you couldn't breathe. You'd give everything you had to give. And that's what you want to see the players do. And if they do that, then it doesn't matter if you win or lose so much, because you know they've given everything they could possibly give. And in that first leg last Sunday, that's exactly what they did. They just gave absolutely everything in that game, because you could see how much it meant to them maybe for the injured players, maybe that's part of the motivation as well, which is great if it is, because that's giving us an extra 5% in the games, maybe, because they're fighting so hard for their mates that are injured and, can't play. And maybe that's going to turn out to be in our favour in the end. I know it's we'd rather have those players fit and playing. Of course we would, because we'd have much more chance of winning. But when you've got that extra little bit of motivation to win these games, then maybe that can be what makes the difference in the end. And, let's hope that that's going to be the case. But yeah, I agree. I think we know whatever happens on Monday, whatever the result at the end of that game on Monday evening, we know that we can give. And if it's not enough to get through to the final, then we'll just have to say, okay, the better team's won over the two legs, fair enough, we'll take that, but we'll be proud of the performance that they've given, and we know that's what they're going to do. It's not a doubt. We don't doubt they're not going to do. We know they will. It's just we don't know whether or not it's going to be quite good enough at the end of the game. We don't know that yet, because Wolfsburg are a very good team. We know they are, and maybe they didn't perhaps play as well as they're capable of doing in that, particularly in that second half. I know we changed things a little bit at half time, and you've got to give Jonas credit for that. He spotted where the problems were and sorted them out, and maybe that was part of it. Wolfsburg maybe dropped off their level a little bit. Maybe they thought the game was won, and you said a little bit overconfident, maybe slightly. They're certainly not going to underestimate us on Monday now, are they? Because they know what we can do. So that's going to make the game interesting. But yeah, we are going to give everything. We know that they will, and yeah, let's just hope and pray it's going to be enough. But that game for me on Sunday was, it was, if ever you wanted to show an example of a team that are totally in tune and totally focused on what they need to do, then you saw that in that game. When we were 2-0 down, it would have been very, very easy in the circumstances for them to think, right, we can't do this. We've got nothing left. And they could have easily rolled over, and it could have been a really bad day. But what they actually did was they rolled their sleeves up and said, you know what, we are going to give everything that we can. And that was, I thought that certainly, if you take the first half an hour out of that game, that was probably our best performance of the season in many ways, in the circumstances of the game, being 2-0 down in a semi-final with the injuries that we've got. No one on the bench. Let's be honest, we had no one on the bench, really, did we? We had kids on the bench. It was, you looked at that bench and you thought, look at Wolfsburg's bench. For that the commentator to say that they've got the same injury problems as us. Look at their bench. They had a full bench. They had international players on their bench. We had kids. We had half a bench, and most of them were kids. I mean, it was ridiculous when you looked at it like that. So for us to get that result there, and for Jons Dottir to come out and say what she said about, oh well, we'll win in London. Clearly, I'm not quite sure if maybe the translation of that came across in the right way, maybe, but I don't think that's a good thing to say. And hopefully Jonas can stick that on the dressing room wall on Monday night and say, look, this is what they think of us. They think they can just turn up here and win. Let's go out there and show them actually that's not going to be the case. And if they are going to win, they're going to have to fight and give everything to beat us, because as you said, this team doesn't know. They don't seem to know at the moment when they're beaten. Yes, we lost to Man United, and we know the circumstances of that game, but we still fought them for everything in that game. We should have got something at the end. We did lose the first leg in Bayern Munich, but again, we were a better team and deserved to get something from that game. So this team are going since obviously the break for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. We've come back, and we had a bit of a shaky start, didn't we? We drew with Chelsea. We should have won. We drew that game with West Ham when we dominated them and missed 50 chances, and then we lost to Man City when we was all over the place. And since then, I don't know, something seems to have dropped. The penny seems to have dropped, actually. And I don't know, just the level in the performance has just gone. It's just incredible what they've produced. When you look at it, Kim's out now, Leah's out now as well, on top of what we had before, and they're still keeping on. It's almost like we're not missing them. And that's strange to say, because it's almost like we're not missing them. Because I don't think if Leah Williamson and Kim Little had played on Sunday, I don't think we would have played any better than we did. Honestly, I don't. We may not have conceded those two silly goals, because I think maybe we would have had a bit more experience there and we wouldn't have made those mistakes. But I don't think we would have played any better if them two were playing. I've got to be honest, because that performance was just, I was just so proud of what they produced on that game. It was just unbelievable. And if we can get back to a similar level on Monday, play to that same level again, I really think we'll have a great chance. And looking at the Barcelona games over them two semi-finals with Chelsea, I wouldn't actually be overly worried about playing them in the final either, because I think we'll have a chance to beat them. I'm sure Wolfsburg feel the same. I'm sure they do, because Barcelona are a good side, of course they're a great side, but I don't know. I just feel like, at this moment in time, I feel this team can achieve something really, really, really special, because they're just producing everything that they've got, and it has been incredible to see. I just hope they have still got enough left to give for the final obviously games of the season to get that top 3 in the WSL and obviously get to this final. Terry's in the chat as usual. He says, "Good evening, Richard and the famous international man of mystery, Andreas." Indeed. Terry says there, have more faith in our girls. I said it'll be 5-3 after the second leg. You did actually. And we beat Barca in the final. I'm a sidekick, don't you know? Well, yeah, you did say it would be 5-3, and it could be 5-3. I mean, it'll be a hell of a game on Monday if it finishes 5 for an aggregate, won't it? But we will certainly take that. I'm sure we will. Definitely. Terry said, just... they ain't just fighting for the girls back home. They're now fighting for the whole club after the performance the men's team put in. Yeah, you're probably right. They probably are. They've got something to prove there as well. Terry says, "Come on, Richard. We all know you've been looking for flights and accommodation. You're as confident." Well, I've been looking. I've got to be honest. You're right. I've been looking, but I haven't booked anything yet. I'm not going to jinx it by booking the final or anything like that. We're going to wait and see. Obviously, maybe Monday night we might start booking a few things, but not before then. But no, I mean, I've got confidence in this team, without a doubt. And that game on Sunday, really, I don't know, we couldn't have asked for any more. I say all I wanted was that there was something to play for. And I agree with you, Andreas. At half time, I'd have took a 2-1 defeat. I said, well, okay, we'll take that and that'll be fine. And we turned it round against Bayern. We can turn it around at home. But now they've actually got that second goal that could prove to be so vital as well. The whole mindset of the tie has changed now. With it being level as opposed to, maybe Wolfsburg in front, they might have sat back a bit more thinking they only needed a draw. Now they know they've got to win. It might make a difference to how their mindset is as well. They might come out and they'll need to attack because they're going to have to score a goal at some point if they want to go through. There might be some gaps for us to exploit. We're at home. We've got the crowd. And if it does go to extra time and heaven forbid penalties, at least we've got home advantage in both of those two aspects of the game, which is probably going to help. So, it's looking good. Mark says here, what stadium is the final at? It's at PSV Eindhoven Stadium. Is it Philips Arena or something it's called, isn't it? It's where we played in the Europa League actually earlier this season. Arsenal men played there, didn't they, against PSV? We lost, but we did play in that stadium. So that's the stadium it's at. So that'll be where it is, yeah, in Eindhoven. So it's not far, really, is it? Just across the pond. It's even a bit closer for Andreas probably to get to than us, but it's a nice place to have a final, isn't it? In Holland, let's be honest, it could be worse, couldn't it? So, yeah, that's where it is. So we look forward to that, but we're not going to look forward to it yet because I say we can't jinx it, can we? Terry says there, do we know if Fraudy is back? Well, the good news is apparently she's been training. So if she's in training, it must mean that she's somewhere near being fit. Whether she's going to be fit enough to start, whether she's going to have to come off the bench, we don't know. But whether she's fit enough to play at all. But she has been training. So fingers crossed, she comes through training unscathed, and she'll be at least ready to play some part because that would be a real boost, wouldn't it? The form that she's been in recent games before she got injured was just incredible. And I think having her fit for that semi-final would be, we got through the first leg without her, of course, and we got a great performance. But I think having her back in the team would be such a bonus, wouldn't it? And really give her, it's an extra body as well, isn't it? Because we were so short and we're not going to have a lot more strength in depth, are we? Lena Hurtig apparently may be fit enough for the bench on Monday. So there's another body in there as well, a bit more experience than all the kids we've had. So, there's some positive news on the injury front as well. But, before we move on to Monday, really, I just think we do just need to really give the team so much. And Jonas as well, I thought, and the coaching staff for the way we turned that game around was impressive, really, really impressive. And, I thought maybe Mikel Arteta had watched it and I thought maybe on Wednesday some of that will rub off on his team, but it didn't, did it? So clearly he didn't watch it, did he? Maybe he needs to watch it in future and see what it means. How, what a team that wants to win something, a team that's got desire and heart and fight, how to reproduce that. You just got to watch that performance, and that's what they need to do, the men's team, and maybe we might get somewhere because that was impressive stuff. So yeah, 2-2 draw. I mean, brilliant. I mean, way above our expectations for that game. And now it is going to be such an exciting night coming up very, very soon, of course, on Wednesday, on Monday. Now, of course, last season's game, the quarterfinal there, Lotta's goal at the end to give us a draw wasn't quite enough. We lost in the second leg over there, of course, last year, as we know. But You can see from that picture there as well, the Emirates was empty. There was only 5,000 there that night, and it was a good atmosphere. It was a great night, actually. I enjoyed it, but it's going to be completely different on Monday. You know, it's pretty much sold out now. I'm sure by Monday it will be sold out. It's going to probably beat the attendance against Tottenham, which was a record, and it's more than likely going to beat that now. You would say, and it is just going to be probably. I think it's going to be the biggest night in the history of the club. Actually, I know we've won the Champions League previously under its other guises, but when you look at the quality of women's football now, the standard how it's gone up, the teams around Europe, how much better they are, those top teams than they were, 15 years ago when it was that we won it originally, and the just 3,000 fans at finals and stuff there used to be. Now we're going to get nearly 60,000 at a semi-final. The standard of the football, and I do think that if we can win on Monday, it'll probably be just to get to the final is going to be one of the greatest nights in Arsenal women's history of the club. Definitely, without a doubt, it will be getting to the final if we can do it in the circumstances with the crowd there at the Emirates, all this kind of stuff. Just it will be something really, really. It's going to be something special anyway, regardless. But the fact we've actually got a chance to win it is even better, isn't it? Terry says maybe Jonas needs some input in the men's team. Yeah, I'd make him manager, but not yet because he's got work to do for the women. But when he's finished with the women, he can go and get the men to win the Premier League. That's what he should do. Andreas, Monday is going to be wow. It's just going to be something just incredible, isn't it? I mean, I can't even put into words how much I'm looking forward to it, how excited I am. But also, I've got nerves already as well just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just fantastic that the tie is still open for Monday. And as I said last week, if you lose the first leg, 4-0, 5-0, you can sell as much tickets as you want for the second leg. You won't fill the stadium. Maybe we would have sold 50,000 and less than 30,000 would have come. But now we'll have a sold out Emirates, and I think maybe 55,000 or so as attendance were really coming. And this is unbelievable. The development of women's football. If you see the two semifinals in Nou Camp, 72,000 yesterday, and I think from the reaction of the Barcelona players, you could see how much it meant to them. They were celebrating a draw against another big team because they reached the final a third time in a row, and this is something really special. And the final at Eindhoven, the stadium is too small, but it was I think it was given to Eindhoven 2 or 3 years ago, so nobody could expect the development, and it's just fantastic. And of course, we all want to win on Monday, and we want to go to the final. But if not, I think I will be nevertheless proud of the team and what they achieved this season. And as you said, I'm sure they will give 100% every player. And when you look at the first leg in Wolfsburg, players like Leah Walty, she was not 100% fit with this thick bandage around her leg. And she was player of the match. She stepped up in this situation. She did what she normally does. Plus, she was playing the role Kim Little is normally doing. So she was. It was like she was two players in one match. Fantastic. And also Victoria Pelova had a great game. Stina scored the goal, but if you look at the runs she made and how dangerous she always was for the Wolfsburg defense, just fantastic too. And one big credit to Jen Beattie. I know Terry will react now. Jen's contract was extended not as a starting player for this season, but as a mentor for the young players, and just keep on training, Jen. And if we need you, maybe you play 10 minutes or so in some matches. And now she was a starter in a Champions League semi-final, and she had a very good match. Of course, you could say the first goal was defended from all defenders, and the second goal, this pass from Rafa, maybe Jen could have reacted a bit quicker. And and get the ball away. But mentally to come back from this difficult situation for a player like Jen, who has not started this season, for me it was perfect, very, very good performance from her, and that she got the player of the match. Of course, I think we all say she's such a fantastic person, such a leader for the young, and the role model for the young players. And so I could continue for every player in this team. It's fantastic how every player stepped up. Fantastic pass from Lotta, which led to the second goal. The performance from Noel Maritz in the last weeks. She was only a substitute in the first half of the season. She wanted to go away in winter transfer, and now she's a regular starter and proves how important she is. It's fantastic how the team develops and how they stand together. I think we all can't wait for Monday, and we all hope the best and hope that we have something to celebrate in the end. But I think even if we lose, even if Wolfsburg scores a lot of goals as they did in Munich 3 weeks ago, I will stand up after the final whistle and give applause to this team, because they deserve it, no matter how this match ends. I'm so proud of this team, what they did so far.
Absolutely, 100%. And I don't believe that it is going to. Yes, we know Wolfsburg are capable of doing it. Like you said, they went to Bayern Munich and scored 5, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago? So we know they can do it. But I don't believe the game's going to be like that at all. Whatever way it goes, it's going to be tight and it's going to be close, and there might only be one goal in it either way. It could even go all the way to extra time and God knows what. So, yes, we know they're capable. But then look at the goals that we potentially got in our team as well. We went over there, we scored 2, could have scored 4 with some of the chances that we had. So you look at the goals we could have scored against Bayern Munich in 2 games. We could have scored 8 in the 2 games against Bayern, couldn't we? You know what I mean? We could have done, with the chances we had in both of those games, especially at home in that first half. We had loads of chances, didn't we? So, we can definitely create chances and score goals. So, I don't know. I agree, though. Whatever happens, we need to be proud of this team, what they've achieved this season. They've got a trophy already. One sitting there, and there's another one that we can still fight for, and that's all you can hope for, isn't it? The league title's not totally out the window, but I think that is going to. I think if we win on Monday, I don't think the rest of the league games are going to really be that important, because everything's going to be focused on that final, isn't it? And whether or not we can keep that level in the league, we need to get in the top 3. Of course we do, because we can't guarantee we're going to win the Champions League final if we get there. But yeah, I do feel that the last few league games might not be quite so intense as they might be otherwise if we're not in the final, because it's everything goes in that then, doesn't it? But let's get Monday out of the way first, because it's going to be good. Terry says there, super Jen BT. I mean, to be fair, Terry, I've got to say you've been supporting Jen all season, even though she doesn't play that much, and that performance on Sunday was brilliant. Yes, it was a bit shaky at the start. I agree. The first goal she lost. She let her run off. Didn't she? She didn't track her player particularly well. Could she have reacted better for the pass from Rafa? Maybe, but that was a terrible pass from Rafa. I don't think you can't really blame Jen for that. But after that, I mean, she was brilliant. Honestly, heading everything away, getting blocks in, a calmness on the ball at the back. Almost Leah Williamson-like at times, wasn't it? The way she was so calm. And then, of course, Lotta took on Leah Williamson's passing as well, didn't she, when she went up the pitch and set the goal up? So, it was a little bit of a real. It was a throwback a little bit for Jen Beattie, wasn't it? Because she's been such a great player for so long, and I thought she was. I agree with you. I thought she was going to play the odd minutes here and there if needed in certain games. So I mean, she wouldn't have expected to start a semi-final of the Champions League, would she? Let's be honest, she wouldn't have expected to. So, but it's about grabbing the opportunity, isn't it? And that's what she did. She absolutely grabbed it, and she was. I don't think she was player of the match. For me, I would have given it to Leah Walty as well, because I thought she was absolutely incredible in that game. Absolutely incredible performance from Leah Walty. So she deserved to get it. But yeah, I mean, you can't deny Jen anything from that game, because she was brilliant as well. They all were, like you said. It's difficult. I was thinking about it after the game. Sort of looking at giving like the players a score out of 10. They all got 9 as a minimum, every single one of them. You couldn't give them any less, because they were that good, and they gave that much into the game as well. So yeah, I mean, we got Michael in the chat there. He's a Barcelona fan, so we have to go easy on him. He says, I see you as confident as John Zottier of turning us over in the final. If you make it and things don't quite turn out as expected, please spare us the injuries and ref sob stories. No, we won't. We won't be blaming. I mean, we will blame the injuries, obviously, because they're a massive part of it. But we won't have any sob stories if we get to the final. To be honest with you, I'll be so proud of the team just for being in the final. I still think we can win. I think we can. Chelsea could have won, could have got through, couldn't they? Over the 2 legs, they had opportunities to do it. I thought yesterday they were in the game, as Emma said, they kept themselves in the game, and that's what you need to do. Barca were the better team. I think over the 2 games they were, but yes. I didn't see anything in those 2 games to make me think if we make it. That we last season we played Barcelona in those 2 games in the group stage and we got hammered. It was the 8-1 in aggregate over the 2 games, right? And we were well beaten in both those games. And obviously we've got to accept that, and we did. But I think that gap has closed between us and them. You can see quite clearly that we are when we've played against these bigger teams, the more physical, stronger teams this season, we've competed much better. Chelsea, we played Chelsea 3 times since Christmas, and we've outplayed them in all 3 games. Really, I mean, we've lost 2 of them, which we're unfortunate to lose, and we won the final. We've 2 games against Bayern Munich. We were the better team, and that was the sort of game we would have lost last season. Wolfsburg last season, away at Wolfsburg, we lost 2-0, got bullied out of the game. This time we were 2-0 down and came back. So you can see that gap's there, and I hope that if we do get to the final, that we'll have the opportunity to prove that we have closed that gap. And Barca might well win because they're a very good team and they've got some fantastic players and they haven't got half their team injured. So they're going to have a good chance of winning, aren't they? But what I think will show, if nothing else, in that if we get to the final, that the gap from last season when it was 8-1 over 2 games has closed, and it's not going to be a game like that again. I think it will be a lot closer. And I think we'll have a chance. And that's all you can hope for. I'm not saying we'll win. I'm not saying we can definitely win, but we'll have a chance of winning. I just want the opportunity to be there. Barca have done it, and fair play to them. Again, they're in the final. But I just want us to have that chance to be in the final and play Barcelona in the final. And who knows? A game of football, 90 minutes. As we've seen plenty of times, anything can happen. Anything can happen in a 90-minute game of football, anything. So, I just want to be there and have that opportunity to give it a go. And it's all going to come down to Monday night. And I must admit, I don't think the game's over just because we got a draw away from home. It's not like away goals anymore, where we can think, a 1-1 draw will put us through. It's the games. It's like 0-0 starting from scratch, isn't it? It's a one-off. It's a one-off game. The good thing in our favour is the home advantage, and I do think with the crowd, I think that's massive, isn't it? Playing in front of what could be 55, 56,000 fans, the atmosphere in there is going to be just incredible, isn't it? And if that doesn't lift at one, it will probably lift Wolfsburg as well, because they're not used to playing in crowds like that, are they, in Germany? Because they very rarely get big crowds, do they? So, it depends how they react to that, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Mark has asked a question. He says, Andreas, where were you born? There you go. Where were you born, Andreas? There's a question from Mark.
Yeah, in Germany, southern part of Germany, small city called Pforzheim, golden city between Stuttgart and Karlsruhe.
Oh, well, there you go. You see, there you go. Well, there's a little bit of German geography there as well. So if you don't understand German geography, you'll know exactly where Andreas means. And if you don't, then go and have a look on the map and you might find it. Terry says there, as spot on, Richard, 100% the girls are a class act. They are a class act on and off the pitch, aren't they? And we are very proud of them all. Terry said, to be fair, Chelsea went to Barca to not get hammered and could have nicked it in the end, but they did have one of their better lady refs. So credit. So the ref was okay yesterday, actually. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Chelsea went there just to keep themselves in the game. And that's what you've got to do. Emma was right. I don't often agree with Emma Hayes, but she was right what she said after the game. That she was asked about whether or not she felt that they could have been a little bit more ambitious earlier in the game. And she said no, because the idea was to keep ourselves in it at 1-0 down and try to find a way back with a set piece or a counter attack or something. And so they played it right, Chelsea, I thought. And Barca were too strong in the end and got through, but fair enough. But I thought that's the way that you got to approach it, really. And that was the way, maybe when we in our first leg, we were too open at the beginning, wasn't we? We left ourselves too open and we got punished. And that was something Chelsea was not going to do yesterday. And they didn't, and it almost paid off them, but not quite. Let's hope that it does pay off for us on Monday, but we'll have to see. I mean, Andreas, obviously Arsenal women have got such a rich history in the women's game. You know, we're the most successful club in England, in English football history, women's football history, in terms of trophies that we've won. And, you know, we dominated the game for so long, and it's not quite been the same in recent years. The other teams have caught up with us and overtook us to a certain point. But obviously now, with the Champions League in the format that it is, and the number of games that you've got to play, there's a group stages, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, where do you think this run that we're on into the semi-final ranks in our history in terms of this club? You know, because I think it's just even being where we are now with a chance of getting to the final is one of the greatest achievements that this club's ever done, I think. Do you think that's true? Or do you think maybe, you know, obviously we did win the Champions League when it was not called the Champions League. So we've won loads of league titles and stuff like that. But I think now, with the way women's football is, the quality and the standard that the game's at now, with the crowds that we mentioned, to actually be in this position now, I think is one of the greatest achievements in the history of the club.
Yeah, it's always difficult to compare football or winning trophies from 30, 40 years ago in men's football. You can't say the team that won the World Cup in 1966 was the best English team ever. Maybe, yes, but these players, even if they were in that age, put them in modern football now, they couldn't compete. It has changed too much, and it's the same, maybe not the same, but even more. The development in women's football is, you can't compare this. Even the last 10 years, women's football has developed so extremely that you can't say teams that won something for 10 years ago, they would have been the best right now. Of course, winning the Champions League, this will stand forever for Arsenal. And we're still the only English team who has won the Champions League, and this will continue for at least one more year. So this stands forever. This is a success for eternity. But I don't think that dominating the league like we did 50, 20 years ago is a proof for that this team in the early 20s was better than the team now is. No, the league is so competitive that winning the title would be worth more than it was dominating the league for years. In Champions League, it's I think Champions League started anew with the group stage. When the group stage was created last season for the first time, this changed Champions League, and it's now a real Champions League as we know it from the men's football. Before, with the knockout stage from the first round, it was like the old European Cup in football, but now it's a Champions League, and you see how much it has developed and how competitive the Champions League is. And nobody can say Arsenal had a lot of luck going through to the semis. No, we played the title holders Lyon in group stage. We played Juve. Then we had to play Bayern Munich, and now Wolfsburg, who has won the Champions League a few times. So it was not an easy way. And the same you have to say with respect to Chelsea. They also had a difficult group stage. And then they played Lyon and now Barcelona. So I think they represented English women's football very good. And Barcelona is still, in my opinion, Barcelona is the best team currently in women's football. Sometimes it looks as if the whole the way they play, this ball possession and creating chances, and they seem to have fallen in love for their own playing system or playing style, and in this they forget that what's the most important, it's scoring goals, because only with beautiful football, with beautiful passes and ball possession and regaining the ball, you can't win a match. You must score. And they only scored 1 goal in both matches against Chelsea. So it was open match till the end and tough. So yeah, why not beating them in a final? It's only 1 match, but of course they are the best team in European football, and that's where we want to come to. So one step after the other. Let's play on Monday. Let's try to win. It would be fantastic to reach the final. And then, of course, Monday night I would try to get my ticket if tickets are still available. But I haven't got it right now because I don't want to see Wolfsburg in a final. No, but, yeah.
Plus, as well, I think it jinxes it anyway. You know, I do every single time Arsenal been in a final. I've always waited until we're there before I've got tickets because I didn't want to jinx it beforehand by buying a ticket before we've got there because I just think that's, you know, John's Dottier was a little bit confident the other day, and that's almost being too confident, isn't it, buying a ticket for the final before you've got there. So I'm going to wait, and if they sell out, they sell out. It's just one of them unfortunate things. I'm sure some will become available. I'm sure some Chelsea fans probably bought some and will be selling them. So, you know, I'm sure there'll be ways to get some, but we shall see what happens. Michael says there, good luck Monday. He said, remember we beat Chelsea in our last final with Alexia on one leg and our holding midfielder playing centre back for our suspended starter. Yes, you did. But then have you had your 4 best players all injured at the same time? No, you haven't. So don't come to me with sob stories about injuries and players missing when you haven't seen the players we've got missing. We've got Kim Little, our captain, missing. We've got Leah Williamson, the captain of the Lionesses, missing. Beth Mead, player of the tournament in the Euros, possibly the best player in the world in the last year, missing. Viv Miedemar, again, one of the best players in the world, missing. So don't come to me with your sob stories about Alexia being missing. That's 1 player. We've got 4 players, and they're not just any 4 players. They are 4 of the best players in women's football in the world, and they're all missing. And 2 of them have been missing most of the season, and 2 of them are missing now at the business end of the season. So if we get to the final, if you beat us in the final, fair play, you'd probably deserve to win. But you know, don't start saying about injuries that you had last time you beat Chelsea, because we know half our team are missing. Ridiculous. Anyway, we have actually got some good news for us as well before Monday. Look who's here. Amar's joined us. Good afternoon, Amar.
And there's the lighting, yes. How are you?
Right? We need to see you. I know you've had a busy day. You've been in Birmingham, haven't you? Which has been fun, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a Bear Grylls adventure. It was a part of work thing. It was good. I really enjoyed it, but now I'm back where I need to be, so it's good.
Oh, it's good that you've enjoyed it. I'm glad you've had a good day, which is the main thing. Terry says, to be honest, if we had no injuries, these girls would have cleaned up this season. Well, you do get that feeling, but again, like I said earlier, that even if Kim and Leah had played last Sunday, we wouldn't have played any better if they'd played, I don't think. So, you know, would we have won any more trophies with them? We'd have had more of a chance. Of course we would, let's be honest, if they weren't injured, but they are. Terry says, we would have to have borrowed Spurs' dusty trophy cabinet to keep it all in. Well, yeah, that's what we need. We'll need an extension soon, won't we, if we can keep winning some more trophies. Jota says, come on, Terry, they need that cabinet to hold their Audi Cup. Yeah, they do, yeah, the good old Audi Cup that they won. And I'm sure they love that as well. But yeah, hopefully we'll need an extra trophy cabinet, so an extension built. All these new trophies that we're going to come in our way over the next few years for the men and the women, hopefully. I mean, Amar, obviously, the semi-final Sunday, Wolfsburg away, 2-0 down after 10 minutes, or whatever it was, 20 minutes. We came back, could have won. What a brilliant game that was, wasn't it? What a brilliant performance that was from our team.
Well, it just sums up the mentality of the team at the moment. They just don't know anything other than the word fight. I mean, if you're looking for the word resilient in the dictionary, in a sporting terms dictionary, I think you'd find Arsenal next to that word, because it just sums up how, not just the men, until recently the men's team had been like that, but still you could describe them as being resilient for most of the season. But the women have just been fantastic. It's like they played. The fans that travelled there turned out great. It's great to see the fans when I was watching on the second half on YouTube at work the other day, and then to see them fight back in that way, you know, especially after that awful error to give them a second goal. And it looked like it was going to open us up. But we showed they can be exploited, you know. Set pieces are not great at defending. We saw that in the leg last year when Lotte Wubben-Moy scored the equaliser at the Emirates and from crosses into the box. And there was one moment that summed up the second half. I remember there was a bit, I was watching that there. I don't know, what position does she play in? Svenja Huth. She can play in a variety of positions. She can play in defence and forward, I think that, isn't it? Where you could see her. She was visibly upset when Stina headed over late, which could have won the game for us. So, I mean, we could we showed they could be got at, and there was a fantastic result to come back from 2-0 down. Incredibly, as the Guardian's journalist Jonathan Liu was saying, it's the first time in over nearly 8 years that they hadn't won from being 2-0 up over 170 games, which is incredible when you think about it. And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic occasion on Monday. And they said they're 3,000 tickets away from a sellout. So, I mean, bring it on. I think it's going to be a great occasion, and hopefully the girls can do us proud again.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we mentioned it earlier that, I think the whatever happens on Monday, we know they're going to do us proud. We know they're going to go out there and give everything. And if it's enough to win, then it'll be amazing and we'll enjoy it. And if it's not quite enough to win, then we'll still appreciate the effort and character. And you said resilience. I mean, that's a good word, isn't it? Because, with everything that's happened this season to the team, it's quite incredible to think that we've got one trophy already won, stuck away in the cupboard, the dusty cupboard that we borrowed from Tottenham. We've got one trophy already in there. Yes, the WSL is the one. We want to win that again, don't we? We're desperate to see us win the league, but in the circumstances of the season, to be in a semi-final of the Champions League and to be in with a chance now going into the second leg at home and already one trophy on the board, and we're still in the top 3 in the WSL. I mean, what an amazing! This could turn out to be one of the greatest seasons ever, I think, for Arsenal women. If we could win the Champions League, win the Continental Cup, and finish in the top 3. I mean, what a incredible! When you look at that, I know, and it's not an excuse about the injuries; it's a fact. We have lost 4 of the best players in the world
There's no question,
all at the same time. It's just incredible.
Sorry to add to that as well, but Catley's been in. Volti Leo Volti had a big strapping on her thigh. You could see she was giving it her all. Caitlin Ford's been injured. Katie McCabe's been suspended, and then you have to rub it all in. I know it's not injury related, but then you have the bird strike on the plane. I mean, it's like we're cursed.
Yeah, that was horrible, wasn't it? Seeing that. I mean, I don't think I would have got back on that plane or back on a plane again if I'd been on it. I don't really like flying much anyway, but no, I mean it just seems that everything is trying to conspire against us, and it's like the team is saying, actually, no, we're not going to accept these excuses. We're not going to accept these things going wrong. We are going to fight and give everything and try to prove that we can rise above it. And that, no matter what happens now, whatever happens the rest of the season in these last few games, either way, there's no way that anybody could have anything less than massive pride for what this team have done this season. And if it turns out in vain in the end and we get knocked out on Monday and we finish 4th in the league and don't even qualify for the Champions League, that's going to be disappointing. Of course it will. But in the circumstance, I don't think anybody can look back and say that the team's let us down or anything like that, because they've just been magnificent. And I'm still kind of thinking that we've got some great time still to come this season. One way or another. I do think we have, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us over the next few weeks, because there's still so many exciting games to come, and obviously no bigger than Monday. I mean, Emma, you're definitely coming, aren't you, Monday?
Well, I still have to. I requested leave from work for a few weeks ago. I'm going to message them to say, I'd love to meet them up, but I don't know what I'll say. But hopefully I can. I've bought my ticket. I really don't want to sell it at the last second, so it'll be great to be there. Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be there. Throw a sickie, man. No one will know. Just
no, I know. I would say put a sickie, but then I don't want to get done at work.
No, I don't know. You can't miss. At the end of the day, sometimes you've got to. I remember there was when the Arsenal men played. I think it might have been a game against Man United back years ago when it was Arsenal Man United in the league, and he'd thrown a sickie at work to go to the game, and then they showed him on the telly celebrating a goal. And he got in trouble at work because they saw him on the telly. You see, so you have to be careful. But
was that the game when Sylvain Viltord scored the winner at Old Trafford?
It might have been that one. It was one of them. It was either that one or the one when Overmars scored. I can't remember which one.
Overmars, it was both at Old Trafford. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them games, and he was obviously on the telly. They saw him on the telly, and he got in trouble at work. And I don't know if he got sacked or whether they let him off. But anyway, sometimes certain things. I know work's important and we need it to pay our bills and whatnot. But some things in life are more important. One-off moments like this that'll have could potentially be a memory that will last forever. That's more important than a job for me. There's no job more important than Monday night. And if I couldn't, I mean, luckily it's a bank holiday, and we don't work on bank holidays. I'm fortunate in that way. But if I had to book a holiday and they said no, I still wouldn't go to work on Monday. I'd still go to the game. I wouldn't miss it because the work isn't that important.
Oh no, you wouldn't want to miss it. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you got to, get your perspective. Sometimes. Terry says, "Evening, Emma. Nice to see you buzzing this week. What has Bear Grylls been making you eat? Yeah, what did he make you? Did you have to eat anything nasty?
Huh?
Did you have to eat anything nasty at Bear Grylls?
No, it's a Bear Grylls adventure, mate. It was like an adventure thing. I was doing rope climbing. I did some indoor skydiving, and I also did some axe throwing. So there you go.
Oh wow! See, that looks like that could be quite fun, actually. All of that sounds great.
No, it was good. It was all paid for by work. Come to Birmingham, come back, and then I just made my way home, and then I couldn't miss you guys, so I thought I'd just make it. Yeah.
Did your Toyota Corolla make it all the way down the motorway? Then did it?
What was that?
Did your Toyota Corolla make it down the motorway?
I was paid for. There was a train journey paid for by work. We went by train.
Oh, you went by train, did you? Oh, okay, that's
yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Terry says, "How are you? Sound really rough. That's a really chesty cough."
I don't have a cough. I'm fine.
No, he's fine. He's fine. No, but he's getting it in early, you see. So that by Monday you'll be really ill by Monday. You see, it's the start of it now. You see. It's going to get worse by Monday. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be worse by Monday.
You can't don't work on Monday, so it's better for your boss if he says, "Okay, go to the match."
It's
a woman, but yeah, I've been. Let's see.
And she's not. Football.
Well, if it's a woman, even better then, because you're saying, look, I'm going to support women in football and in life, so they should make extra allowances for that.
I know, but because it's a bank holiday and it's going to be extremely busy, they're not going to say, "Oh, you can just go and watch the game." But I don't know. I might pull a sickie. I'll see.
Oh, you've got to. Terry says there. Show that message to your boss. I think what we should do is I think we should all send a message to Amar's boss and say, look, come on, let him know. Yeah, don't be silly. He needs to come to this game. It's so important. He can't miss it. It's supporting women's football. It's supporting women in life and stuff like that. And it's a massively important thing. And he's got to go. So that's what we need to do. So if you know Amar's boss, to make sure you send him a message and make sure that he gets the time off.
Oh God,
because he needs a time off because he needs to be there. But I mean, Monday is going to be. I mean, I can't even think about Monday without getting nervous and excited at the same time. It's incredible, really, isn't it? And it's what we dreamed of last week, that it would be all to play for in one way or the other, and that we've got what we wanted, and let's hope that we can still have what we want on Monday night when it's all over at like 8:00, or it could even be later, couldn't it? It could go into extra time, as we said before, and who knows where that might lead us to. But yeah, I mean, just seeing, and I just think, seeing that many people turn up at the Emirates, which over the years has, been the men's. I know, Viv Miedemar said it's a club stadium, and she's right. It's not the men's stadium; it's a club stadium. But it's been where the men have played all this time since we moved there. It's had 60,000 fans in. It's seen some big games in that stadium, and to think that there's going to be not far off 60,000 coming there to see the women's team playing a Champions League semi-final. It's an incredible moment, isn't it? In women's football. It may be in football in general, actually, not just women's football. It is about women's football, but just in football, that something like this could happen. You think even going back 3 or 4 years, even no one would have imagined that would be possible. That a semi-final of the Champions League would sell out at the Emirates. No one would have thought. Women's football, people just would not have thought that would be possible. And I think everybody that's enabled it to get to this point, the players that's been involved, the coaches, and yes, as much as we've criticised the TV have put money in and they've helped increase the audience. They have done. And that's credit to them as well. And I just think everybody who's brought it to this level should be really proud on Monday night to get to this point in football. And we've seen England play in front of 80,000 at Wembley as well. We are the England women, and it's been an amazing few years, hasn't it? Terry says there, Telly, you have women's problems. You need to see Arsenal girls play. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're allowed to have time off, aren't you, for that? So you should get away with that. Mark says there, Andreas, I got scouted in Kent, England, and sent to Stuttgart. Oh, wow. He said he
Wow.
trained with Bobic and
Who's Bobic?
Dundee under a football agent. Also trained with all pro players under the agent's agency. There you go. Wow. He's at Stuttgart, which is not far from you, is it, Andreas?
Yeah, I'm working in Stuttgart. So yeah,
Who's Bobic?
Wow.
Who's
Really
Bobic?
was a player in Stuttgart. You know his name.
Oh, Freddie Bobic. Yes, Freddie Bobic.
National team, and now
Yes.
he's a manager.
Oh,
Yeah.
Freddie Bobic. It rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the name. Mark, he's a Kiwi. So there you go.
New
See? So
Zealand.
he
New
came
Zealand.
all the way from New Zealand to go to Stuttgart. There you go. Look at that. Small world, isn't it? It is a small world. Well, what a great story that is. But yeah, so well, Monday. I mean, Emma, what are your thoughts on the game on Monday? Because obviously we've given ourselves a big chance to get through. Of course, we have. Can we do it? Are we going to do it? Is it going to be a glorious night in front of a big crowd at the Emirates, or are Wolfsburg going to think, you know what, we need to step up our game after that last week and maybe do what they did to Bayern Munich a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I think they would have seen what we did to Bayern a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be difficult to make that if we can somehow start the way we did. You never know, but they'll be wary of us. You know, they'll be wary of what we're capable of, as we saw during the first half, especially against Bayern. But you know, I think that we have to start a bit better. I know we played really well for the last hour or so of that game and played brilliantly, but they will. How do you say? Yeah, if they have, especially if they have Alex Pop back and Payor and Jonsdottir continue to do what they did in the first half in the first leg, they will look to think that we they can target us like they did, and we don't want to be giving the ball away sloppily or allowing them to dominate as they did. But if we can do what we have been doing, press up, press hard, press them high up the pitch, force them into errors, attack put the crosses into the box, and have the strikers finishing them off, we're more than capable of producing results. I think we can. I think the crowd is going to inspire them and cheer and be the 12th player as we've so often seen in the past. And I think they'll be inspiring them to make history and reach our first final in 16 years. I think it's been a grand occasion. I hope we can do it, and I might need extra time, but I'm feeling confident. I think they can do it. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, but probably after extra time.
Wow, 2.5 would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, the extra time, if we have to have extra time, we'll take it. I mean, you know, we're at home, so we get the extra half an hour at our ground, which is better. But yeah, if necessary, we don't mind a bit of extra time if we end up winning. Although you got to think we don't have the bench, do we? The strength on the bench that Wolfsburg will have, and if it goes to extra time, tired legs, we can't really replace people. I think we could maybe find it more difficult, maybe, but who knows? We've pulled so many things out of the bag so far this season that anything's pretty much possible, isn't it? We know that, so we'll have to see what happens. I mean, Andreas, we didn't get a score prediction from you, did we?
No, it will be a glorious night, whatever happens, and if we win or lose, it will be a night to remember, I'm sure. And our chance is that Wolfsburg is very, very self-confident, and maybe they were a bit overconfident in the first match, but the reaction after the match, this interview, it doesn't matter that we conceded 2 goals. It does matter, and let's show them how much it matters that we scored twice in Wolfsburg. But the danger is Wolfsburg lost the league match away at Bayern Munich 1-0, and 2 weeks later they came for the semi-final in the German Cup and they won 5-0. So they know when the situation is dangerous, or they are able to react. And if you look at their bench, they have the possibilities to react. But on the other hand, it was the second time that critics say Tommy Stroud, the manager from Wolfsburg, didn't react during a match, or he reacted too late to bring on subs too late. They conceded 2 goals, one from a set piece and the other from a counter attack with a brilliant pass. And he didn't bring in Marina Hegering with the very, very good defender and the central defender from the German national team. Of course, she was injured, but she was, I don't think, brought her in the last minute maybe, but not in a time when you say, oh, I have to react, I have to change something. And I think this is one thing Jonas has learned this season, that he brings his subs earlier. If he has subs on the bench, and he's able to change things, and the girls understand what he wants from them when he changes the game plan or another tactic. He changes from left back to right back or something. They understand what he wants, and I think this tells us a lot how intense the training must be. So that this has developed, and before the first leg, I said I have a bad gut feeling that Wolfsburg will win maybe 3-0. It's wrong, and so I hope my feeling will be wrong for Monday. But I think they have the better team, the better bench, the chance to react from the bench if it goes to extra time. It would be normal if Wolfsburg wins. But what is normal in this season from our team?
So what's the score prediction then? What's your score prediction?
My score, I say we go to extra time, and this time I have to be optimistic. I say we will go with 2-2 to extra time, and there we will score the winning goal. So let's
hope. 3-2.
Yeah,
that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. Terry is sticking by his original prediction. He's gone 3-1, so we win 5-4 on aggregate, because he said that from the start. So why would you change his mind now? And that would be, I mean, the good thing is it could go either way. I think we all know that. And I agree with Andreas. Wolfsburg are probably going to, I think they would have spent this week realising that they missed a great opportunity last week to have killed the tie off. And they know they did. They had us on the ropes, and we looked as though we were a beaten team, didn't we, for 20 minutes? And then, I'm not saying they let us off the hook, because I thought we worked hard to turn that around ourselves as well. But they'll look on that as a big opportunity miss, won't they? Because if that was us and we'd been 2-0 up in 20 minutes in our home leg and we'd only drawn 2-2, we'd be really frustrated and disappointed that we hadn't won the game. And that's what they'll be feeling. And as Andreas said, they lost to Bayern Munich, and then the next couple of weeks they came back and beat them 5-0, like to show that what they're really about. And there's always the danger that they're going to be like a little bit of a wounded animal, maybe.
That's right.
But I can only really go off the game at the Emirates last season against Wolfsburg, where I thought in the first half we were a bit nervy, we were 1-0 down, but the second half last season's game we dominated them, and we got a late goal, but we could have won that game on the night. I thought we were a better team in that second half. And then obviously this first leg last week, we gave as good as we got in the end over that 90 minutes. We fully deserved a draw. And to me, there's no reason why we can't go on Monday and get the result. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Wolfsburg are going to pose a threat. We know they're dangerous. We know they've got some great players. If Pop's fit to play, then that's going to be another problem that we're going to have to deal with, that we need to deal with. Yeah, it's going to be a big problem. But I don't know. Terry says, just had a text from Haver wanting to meet up with Amar after the pre-op. Need you there, Amar. Where are you going? You say, tell that to your boss. Look, our star player wants to meet you after the game. So you've got to be.
I can't speak Portuguese, even if I tried. Oh, let's see.
She speaks English. I've heard her. She speaks good English. Haver, she does. So you'll be fine. But yeah, so you need to say that. You see, you can't let Haver down. Imagine. You never get the end of it, would you? So we don't want to have to tell Haver that you couldn't make it, do we? We don't want to be the ones to break the bad news to her after the game. She'll be heartbroken. So we can't let that happen, can we? But yeah, I mean, score prediction is tough, isn't it? Because it's so much in the balance. It could go either way. But yeah, we've got to be optimistic. You two have both gone for a victory to Arsenal. I'm going to have to go for a victory to Arsenal as well, because I feel that we are capable of doing it. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Terry. I'm going to go 3-1. I think what will happen is it'll be 2-1 to Arsenal going into the last 5 minutes. Wolfsburg will throw everything at us, and we'll get a third on the breakaway. A set piece or something on a break. We'll get a third goal and seal it, and everyone will go mental. There'll be pitch invasions. It'll be mad. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to go with Terry. It's going to be 3-1 because Terry predicted 5-3, and I think that the fact he predicted that and the fact that it could still happen, I'm going to go with it. So that's what I think it will be. And whatever happens, as we've all said, we are going to enjoy the night, aren't we? We're going to enjoy the occasion, and we're going to enjoy the fact that this Arsenal team have got this far in the competition, and see what happens on Monday. It's going to be great. I know obviously if Amar's going, we'll have to arrange to meet up as well. I mean, Andreas, I know you're in the posh seats, aren't you, for the game?
Yeah, I'm there in the club area this time. So yeah, I get a free drink at halftime, and yeah, I thought for this special match, I should do this.
You're not coming down in your Toyota, are you?
I mean, I must admit, we thought about getting club level. We did think about it because it's a lot cheaper than it is for a normal game there, isn't it? Let's be honest. So we thought, let's do the club level. And then I thought, no, you know what? I actually just want to be in with the fans and be in and amongst it all. I just think the atmosphere is going to be great. So we've got in with the supporters club in block 2. So I think that's going to be good fun. In the singing section, it's called. So that's going to be a laugh in it. So we'll do that there. But we'll obviously have to meet up, hopefully before and after the game. And obviously Matt as well, who I know is going as well. So we'll have to try and meet him up there and say, that's why, Emma, you can't miss out, Emma. You can't miss out.
I know.
You'll be letting the team down, right? You're letting the side down. You're letting our little group down. So you have to be there. So come on. Let Emma have the time off work. Come on, look. It's Bank Holiday Monday. What are you doing? Come on. Let him have time. He works hard. He works really hard. He deserves time off, doesn't he? So come on. Stop messing about. Let him have the day off. So he can be there on Monday with us, and it's going to be great fun. So yes, the nerves starting. When are you flying, Andreas? Is it tomorrow?
No, it's Sunday morning.
Oh, that's a
bit of a later one, isn't it?
Yeah. Normally, I prefer to have one day off in London to enjoy the city, but this time cheaper flight was on Sunday, so yeah. I think it's because a lot of people use this longer weekend because Monday is the public holiday in Germany, so nobody's working. Yeah, Amar, you should work in Germany. and
most people in England are
well, if I
working.
was looking at Gardaland, they would give me the time off there, you see, because I work for Merlin, and one of our resorts is based in Germany, Gardaland, or what's it called? Sorry, not Gardaland, what's it called? Hyde Park, wherever that is. Yeah, well, I don't work for them, unfortunately. If they did, then maybe they would give me the time off anyway. Where is Hyde Park anyway? I know it's somewhere in Germany, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the
reason. It's in Soltau. It's in Soltau. I don't know where Soltau is, but yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
But yeah, no, I don't work for Hyde Park. If I did, maybe they would give me the time off.
Maybe they would. But
anyway, after the match. It's just a longer break. Yeah, go to work after the match. You're working in the morning, then late afternoon you go to the Emirates.
Exactly. I was on the late shift, you see. I was on the 1 to 9 shift. I was on the 1 to 9.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 9, you see.
Make this offer to your boss. You're working the whole night after the match, so you only need 3 hours free for the match.
I wish I could. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be done. You can't miss out on this big game. It could be it's the biggest game in history. It's the biggest game in Arsenal history.
Probably the biggest game since, I don't know, since the 2007 final against Dumea, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, but you see, that was 2 legs, wasn't it? You see, this is the biggest one. I know this is 2 legs, but this is like the biggest one-off game, I think. Certainly since that final, I suppose. Yeah, but anyway, we'll have to see. You got to be there because it's going to be so good. We are looking forward to it all. I suppose are you staying at your normal hotel, Andreas? Are you the normal place?
Yes, it's normal place.
What's it called? Motel 1 or something?
Motel
1, yeah.
Motel 1.
If anybody's near Motel 1 in Tower Hill, say hello to Andreas because they love him there, and you get special treatment there with the red carpet comes out.
Exactly. They always roll out the red carpet for him.
Yeah, they're so used to going in now.
A few people from the staff already know me or recognize me when I'm coming. They say, welcome back, and how are you? Yeah.
You're a king to them. You're like a king. You see, exactly. Our coronation of our king is next week, but they always do the coronation for you every time you go there.
Exactly. It's about, isn't it?
The football crazy guy from Germany is back.
Weird stuff. I mean, yeah, it's good that you stay at the same place, and it's great that they are now recognising you and giving you a good welcome, which is great as well. When you're going back, then you're going back on Tuesday.
Tuesday morning, yes. Tuesday morning.
So you're not here long this time.
And around noon, I'm back at work on Tuesday.
Oh God!
Really?
Straight from the airport.
See, that's what you want. That's what you want. You see, go to the game, come back, and go straight to work like Andreas does. Then you'll be fine, won't you? That's how it works.
Anyway.
There you go. Terry says, "Tell you what, the following Monday, it's only the coronation." Exactly. Yeah, I bet they let you have the coronation off, won't they? I bet they let you have that Monday off.
That Monday off over.
Haven't they?
I don't get bank holidays off.
Wow, that's not right, is it? You need
the
to
only
get
bank holiday I get off is Christmas Day.
Well, that's not good, is it? I don't think I could cope having to work on bank holidays and that, and Sundays and weekends. I couldn't do it.
I get every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, I get 2 days off, and then I get every 3 weekends off, and then I get every other Mondays and Thursdays off. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, but who wants a Monday and a Thursday off? Nobody. You want to be off Saturday and Sunday. That's when everyone wants to be off. I wouldn't want to be off Monday and Thursday. What would you do? Everyone else is at work. What are you going to do on a Monday and Thursday?
I'm going to play golf. Richard.
I suppose you play golf. All right. If the weather's all right, you can play golf, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's something you can do. But yeah, I'd rather be on Saturday and Sunday. But anyway.
2-2, by the way, between Aston Villa and Manchester United now.
What's the score?
2-2.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Come on, Villa.
Already over?
Villa have led twice, but it's now they've equalised twice. 2-2.
Come on, Villa.
Yeah.
Daly's got both the goals, Rachel Daly's on fire, isn't she, this season? What a season, David.
If they come back from behind twice to win that game, that'll be a great measure of Man United's resilience as well. So, I mean, let's see.
Nikita Parrish has scored.
Yeah.
So Jordan Nobbs has got a score now to make it the ex-Arsenal players scoring in this game.
Russo for the winner last week as well. So.
Yeah, she did, yeah. We don't want to talk about that, though.
No.
It looks like a good game, actually. Is that on the telly? It must be.
It's on the BBC, I think. It's on the BBC.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on the BBC.
I might watch the end of that then, because it looks like it might be quite good. Hopefully Villa can win. Not that it's good. It might be too late for us now, even if Villa win, maybe. It just means Chelsea are going to win the league.
You never know. We've still got 2 games in hand. We'll be 7 points behind United. You never know.
It helps. It helps Chelsea even if United does win.
Yeah,
it does.
It helps Chelsea. Yes, that's what I think. As much as I'd like Man United to lose, it does probably gives Chelsea the league, doesn't it? Let's be honest. But if we can catch, if Man United are catchable, Man City are catchable, then it gives us more chance of getting in that top 3, doesn't it? So we have to look at it from our own point of view as well. If it means Chelsea win the league and we come second, we'll probably take that, won't we? I suppose if that's what it means. But yeah, come on, Villa, get a goal in the last 20 minutes. Did you do a quiz question for us, Amar, this week? I know you've been busy.
I haven't, I'm afraid. Sorry, I haven't had the time. I'm sorry to be
amazing. I've been busy.
Well, I would have asked, maybe. I suppose if I had a question, I would have said, Wolfsburg are unbeaten in their last 7 visits to London or something, but I didn't prepare. I just had so much going on this week, so I'm afraid to be a bit of a letdown this week, but I haven't actually got one.
No, that's fine. I didn't think you would have because I know you've been busy. Terry says, see, Jordan Nobbs got a player of the match last week. Yes, she's doing well. Jordan Nobbs is doing well at Villa. Fair play to her. She needed to play football. And now, of course, with all the injuries in the England team, she probably might well get in that squad and play in the World Cup, mightn't she, as well now? Because she'd have a great chance with players that are missing and whatnot. So we'll see what happens there as well. But no, good luck to Jordan. We love Jordan, of course we do. But I don't think she would have. I mean, she probably would have ended up getting the minutes at Arsenal now with the injuries that we've got. But with everybody fit, she was down the pecking order, wasn't she? She wouldn't have played enough games. We could have done with her now, actually, I suppose, as it turns out. But, hindsight's a wonderful thing in football, isn't it? At the time, it was the right thing for her to leave, and I'm glad she's doing well. And let's hope that she ends up having a good end to the season and gets picked in the World Cup. That'd be nice. And hopefully she pops up with a goal in the next 10 minutes and beats Man U, and then we'll love her even more if she can do that, which will be good. So what we are looking forward to now, say the weekend can officially start. The bank holiday weekend for some of us anyway, and is of course a big weekend of Champions League football. Arsenal are playing Wolfsburg also on Monday at the Emirates. If you still want a ticket, there's a few scraggly tickets left. If you want to get one quick though, be quick because they are selling out and there's not many left. and it's only upper tier I think that they've got left now. Everywhere else has gone. So if you want to go Monday and you haven't got a ticket, definitely get on there now and get your tickets booked, because it's going to be great. If you're out and about around the ground, we will be probably getting up there for about, I don't know, 4 o'clock each time, 4 maybe, around about that, maybe a bit earlier. To get up there a bit early to sample a bit of the atmosphere before the game. What time are you going to get to the ground, Andreas, do you think? Have you planned it yet?
Yeah, I think I'll be there 2 hours before, and I try to get in early because club level is something special and new, and I will enjoy this atmosphere inside. And I think it's sold out, so the atmosphere in the stadium will be in every block. It will be fantastic. So
It will, yeah. Oh, it should be amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, and we'll have to maybe meet up afterwards. Then, if you're going to get in the ground a bit earlier, maybe we can meet up after the game. One of the statues or something like that. We can arrange it anyway. And obviously, Fanmai, if you actually can get to the game, we'll arrange to meet up with you as well at some point. And Matt as well. So anyone else who's going, if you're around on Monday at the Emirates, be great to meet you. Say hello, and it'd be nice. I know Jandra is supposed to be coming down as well. We're going to meet with Jandra by the Thierry Henry statue before the game. So if anyone else who watches the show wants to come down and meet us, we'll be around the ground about between 4:30. We may pop round to Tottenham first as well. I know a few people are meeting up that bit as well. See if there's anyone about. We can come and say hello, and it'd be good to meet you all and enjoy what's going to be an amazing night, isn't it? Just says there, great to finally catch a whole Women's Weekly show. Thanks, Rich Andreas. I know he spelled Amal's name wrong, but he meant Amal. There you go. It's always a good fun. It's a shame Matt couldn't be with us again, but we know he's got another job, isn't he, that gets in the way of the fun stuff in life, and that's no good, is it really? See, when you get a bit older, Amal, once you've worked a bit longer, you'll get to a point in your life where you don't allow work to stop you doing the things you enjoy doing.
True.
There's absolutely no point if that's all you're doing. When I was young, I used to do that as well. You'd work all the hours of the world because you think that's what you've got to do, and then you get to a certain age, you think, you know what, I've done my time, and if I want to go and watch Arsenal on a bank holiday Monday, I'm going to go and watch Arsenal on a bank holiday Monday, and no one's going to tell me no, I can't. I'm not in school anymore. I make my decisions in what I do in my life, and that's it. So there you go. Jota says there, I'm still not used to this, but I don't worry about it. We understood what you meant anyway. But maybe you just need to get smaller fingers or a bigger thingy with the buttons on. Because I always do the same with mine. My buttons letters are too small on my phone, and I've made them as big as they can possibly be, and they're still too small. So it takes me ages to type anything because I keep getting the words wrong. Terry says, great show again, Richard. International man of Mr. Andreas and Rafa Heartbreaker. Chaps all in the chat. Plus, come back, Matt. We missed you. Yeah, we do miss Matt, of course. He was on a couple of weeks ago, wasn't he? In person, which was nice. Of course, we had Harry on as well, didn't we, the other week, which was great as well. So, Harry will probably be up on Monday. So we'll probably arrange to meet up with Harry as well, which will be great. So, yeah, we'll try and get all the gang together again like we did at the Tottenham game. Back in September when we all met up. That was great, wasn't it? So we'll try and get that again if we can. Hopefully we won't have one missing person from the team, because that wouldn't be good, would it? We've got enough team members missing in the actual team itself without having an extra team member missing on Monday when we're trying to meet up at the ground. But anyway, so the weekend, as we know, officially starts now that the show's over, and it is going to be an amazing weekend, isn't it? I think there's 1 or 2 Premier League games this weekend. Nobody cares about the Premier League weekend. It's all about the Women's Champions League semi-final.
And the WSL, to be fair, as well. And the WSL.
The only game that matters, because, Arsenal men aren't anyway.
No doubt.
But yeah, so of course I won't be able to do a watch along on Monday because I'll be at the game. So we'll be doing loads and loads of filming anyway. So there'll be loads of stuff on after the game. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything live from the stadium, because with 50-odd thousand at the Emirates, you're never going to get a signal to be able to get anything live done. So I don't think that'll happen. I will try and see what the situation is, but I know every time I've been, you just can't get a signal anywhere near the Emirates when there's more than about 30,000 in there. So, but we'll put some stuff together anyway. So look out for that at some point next week. And hopefully we'll get to speak to Andreas outside the ground, and Amar and Matt and Harry and everybody else. And anyone who watches the show who's down on Monday, you want to jump on the video, just come up and we'll get you on the video as well. It'd be great to get everyone involved. It'd be good to see everyone. So that'll be good fun as well. So yeah, we will see you all on Monday for the biggest game of, forget Wednesday night Man City Arsenal game. No, that was just a small game compared to this one. This is the one that matters. This is the one. I don't care that Arsenal men lost to Man City. It doesn't matter. As long as I'll trade that in for Arsenal women winning on Monday. I will trade in that.
Yeah, I can do it, to be fair.
I will trade it in for Arsenal women to win. I would have done beforehand anyway, because winning it, getting to the Champions League final would be amazing. And then let's see where it happens after that. So anyway, it's been a great show. Good to look forward to great times and what's going to be a great weekend, I'm sure. Andreas, good to see you again. Looking forward to obviously meeting you on Monday. Have you enjoyed the show as usual?
Yeah, of course. It was great to be in the show. And unfortunately, next Friday, I think we won't have a show because we're playing Leicester next Friday. Just
at
the time we normally have our show, it's kickoff for the Leicester match. And if we reach the final on 3rd June, then nobody will care about the FA Cup final for.
No.
Oh, we'll be in Eindhoven. We'll be doing our own show from Eindhoven if we can do.
We will, yeah. We'll be doing it from Motel 1 in Eindhoven.
It's only a Manchester derby. Who wants to see this?
Well, who cares about the train strikes and there's no doubt. Barcelona, Arsenal, 15 years on from Paris, 10 years on from London, whatever. It's now the women's equivalent of those classic clashes will be the classic clashes from down the years, but we must not get ahead of ourselves. We have to win on Monday first.
No, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. You're absolutely right. But no, absolutely right though. No one will care about the FA Cup final if Arsenal win the Champions League final. They won't. No one will even watch it. I don't know if the TV companies are out there. Don't bother even showing a Manchester Derby FA Cup final on the telly because no one's going to watch it because they'll all be watching the Arsenal women.
The train drivers are striking that day as well. So.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, that's what it's all about. And I say we'll probably have a nice big show from Eindhoven somewhere in one of them little bars that they have in Holland by the river or something that they always seem to have. So we'll have to do something outside there. Be good, wouldn't it? With a nice backdrop.
And who knows if we end up winning the Champions League, we might all be swimming in the river.
Maybe we should. We should jump in the river at the end if we win the final. That's what we should do. That'd be good.
First things first. Let's get past Wolfsburg first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not like John's dot here. We're not overconfident that we're definitely going to win. What we know is that we're going to give everything we can to try and win, and it could well be a glorious night at the Emirates. So, whatever you're doing on Monday, whether you're at the game, whether you're watching it on YouTube, wherever you are, make sure you enjoy it because it is going to be such a big occasion. Whatever, win, lose or draw. Well, we can't really draw, but win or lose, we will just enjoy the occasion because these things don't come around that often, do they? It's our first Champions League semi-final for 10 years in the women and even longer in the men. So, we need to make the most of it and enjoy every single moment of it. And hopefully it'll end up being a great night. Amar, as well, good to see you after your busy day flying around and doing parachute jumping and all kinds of other stuff, which was great. Skydiving, whatever it was you're up to, which was great. I mean, what more can you do? Finish off your day coming on with us.
Yeah, couldn't ask for better. It's been good. Tired now. Hope I'll get the weekend off. Hopefully I'll get Monday off and see you guys, and then on Monday night we'll maybe set out that dream game with Barcelona. But it should be a great occasion, and I can't wait. Bring it on.
Exactly, bring it on. That's what we look forward to. Terry says, "Get your budgie smugglers ready, chaps. I'm holding you in the river." To be honest with you, Terry, my only issue with that slightly is I can't swim, and I wouldn't want to drown.
Oh no!
I mean, Arsenal winning the Champions League would be great, but I wouldn't really want to drown as a result of it, really. But anyway.
We'll drown ourselves in champagne then.
Maybe we'll do that instead, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would like to jump in the river. I'm just not sure if I'd get out again. That's the only problem. But anyway, I suppose I should have learned to swim by now, shouldn't I? But I never have.
Oh, don't worry. It's fine.
Is it? Okay.
If you need armbands, we could give them to you.
I have to get some. That's what I need. I need armbands. Yeah, that's what I need.
I'm being unkind. I'm being unkind.
You're right. I've got a few weeks to save up for some, haven't I? If we win on Monday, I can save up for some armbands for the final, just in case I need them to save me from drowning in the river in Holland. What a way to go, though. What a way to go that would be, wouldn't it? Drowning in Holland after winning the Champions League.
No.
What a way to go for him. But no, I'm sure someone will save me. There'll be enough people around.
I will save you.
I'm sure I can get dragged out of the river by someone. But anyway, we'll see. I'll get myself some armbands or a rubber ring or something, and I'll be fine. But yeah, it's going to be good. So Monday night, we're all looking forward to that. So yeah, if you're around, say hello, join us, and we'll be doing lots and lots of videoing and enjoying the occasion and getting involved in everything that's going on. I think there's loads of stuff they're doing at the ground, aren't they, as well, with entertainment and stuff like that going on. So even if you haven't got a ticket for the game and you're around, it might be worth popping down and getting involved in all the atmosphere and stuff that they're doing before the game as well, because I'm sure it's going to be a great night. And it's going to be definitely an occasion to remember for a very long time. And hopefully we'll remember it even longer if we get the right result at the end. And we're all confident. We've all predicted a win. And if Terry gets his 5-3 aggregate score right, then I think we need to throw Terry in the river after the final. If he gets his score prediction right, that'd be good. Anyway, I'll be back. When's the next show? Actually, I don't know when the next show is, because next week I'm away. After the game, we are going to the Peak District for a few days. We're just going to have a little bit of a chill, a few days away to relax, and then so we're coming back on Friday. So obviously I'll be back for the game against Leicester, but we can't do a show again. You see, they throw games on a Friday night. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose. You know, they had the Southampton game the other week. They've got the Leicester game this week. It's like they're doing it on purpose to try to disrupt our rhythm. That's what they're doing it for. But we're resilient like the team. We'll bounce back. We'll be back the following Friday. We're not bothered. We'll be here. They're not going to get rid of us. They can try. They're not getting rid of us. I'm assuming the following Friday's all right, isn't it? Or are you flying that for a game, are you? Because we're at home, aren't we? To who have we got that week after Leicester?
We've got Brighton on the Wednesday the 10th.
Brighton. And then
and then I think it's Everton. I don't think we have a game in between Brighton and Everton. If I
no, we don't. It is Everton. You're right. Yeah, because Everton's a midweek the week after, isn't it?
17th.
Yeah, the week after. So there's no game that week.
Yeah, the men have a game in between that weekend. I think it's against Brighton, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton. Yeah. So there's lots going on, but we should be all right for the Friday after anyway. And we may be trying to arrange a show. I think if we reach the final on Monday night, I think we need to get a show next week at some point, don't we? We need to do a show. I mean, I'll be sort of free in the evenings anyway, because I'm away, so I'm not at work, so I can stick something together. If any of you guys are available, we can maybe get something planned, maybe one night in the week. If we've done it, maybe just to celebrate and enjoy it for a little while longer. Drag it on for a few more days. So that might be what we're maybe trying to do that, but we'll see what happens. If we lose, then we'll probably just forget about it and just cry for 2 weeks and then come back the week after the Leicester game. Anyway, so that is it for tonight. Then that has been the Arsenal Women's Weekly. The weekend starts now. Enjoy your weekend, guys, because it is going to be something really exciting to look forward to on Monday, isn't it? So we've got a nice weekend. We're going away. Andreas is flying. We're driving down. Amar's going to sneak out of work. It's all going to be good fun. And we will see you all. We'll see you on Monday at the game, and we'll obviously put some videos out. I'll be live at some point, probably next week. I don't know when yet. We'll sort something out. But I'm having a bit of a holiday because I think I need one. So, and hopefully it'll be a holiday where I can relax, dreaming about Eindhoven. Booking Eindhoven flights and hotels is what we want to be doing next week. Which is going to be good. So thanks obviously to Andreas again, as always, for joining us tonight. Amar as well. I know he's done well to come back from Birmingham and come on the show as well. So he's done well. So well done to Amar for tonight as well. Obviously everyone in the chat as well, Terry, everybody else, Mark, and everybody who's in the chat. Please give us a like before you go. We will see you very soon. If you're around Monday, say hello. It'd be good to see you in person. Some of you guys that regularly watch the show, so that'd be nice as well. And as the only thing left to say is, come on, you Gunners, let's do it. Let's get this win on Monday. It's going to be so good, so exciting. I'm not going to sleep for the next 2 days. So that's how good it is. But anyway, let's see what happens. Terry says, good night, chaps. Have a great weekend. And Emma, I'll try and let Rafa down, break it. Yeah, you have to break it to a gentle. No, he'll be there. Don't worry, Terry. He'll be there. We'll make sure he's there. We'll kidnap him and bring him ourselves.
Hey, no, you won't kidnap him.
So we'll stick him in. We'll tie him up, put him in the back of the van, and then he's got to kidnap. What can you do? You can't go to work if you've been kidnapped, can you? You know what I mean? Then we'll release you on Monday night after the game. There you go. We don't even want a ransom. We just want you to be at the game. That's all. That's the only reward that we want. We don't want any money. We just want to get you to experience the game with us. Anyway, we'll see you on Monday if you're there. If not, enjoy watching the game wherever you are. It's going to be great. We look forward to all that. We will see you very soon. Come on, you Gunners. Let's do it. Let's get to the final. It is going to be so good. See you later, guys. Take it easy. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
So Arsenal now Frida Marnham again inside there looking for a second goal. Oh, she's got a second goal. That seals it. Frida Marnham again.